Hi, I'm Dog. Welcome back to the Utopia Baseball League. Monday, May 28th, the end of May. I wanted to do a quick year in review wrap-up, or at least a snapshot of the year wrap-up. Sorry, I just got through eating a part of a cantaloupe, and it was not exactly as ripe as it smelled. And somehow, it gave me a bit of a sinus attack. Sorry about that. Just as I started recording. Strange how that works. In the East-Northeast, Madison has made a strong move up to the front. They have righted the ship. They were down around 500 earlier this season. Richmond and Chesapeake have been right on the heels of Madison all season. Chesapeake is starting to drop a little bit. You can see they're now 7 games behind. Richmond still holding in there 4 games behind and 3 games above 500. Raleigh still trying very hard to tank it. I've made some good trades with Raleigh and Yank. I appreciate those trades. In the West-Northwest, Winnipeg has moved out to take sole command of first place, albeit by the slimmest of margins from the Vancouver Brawlers. British Columbia, Portland is a strange team that I've never figured out. They pitching, hitting, they should be on top. But what can I say? They got BC and Winnipeg and Lancaster. West-Northwest, year over year, probably the toughest division in the UBL. Lancaster having another tough year. Gators tanking it. I can't say he's tanking it, but he's definitely looking towards the future at this point. In the West-Southwest, Tijuana. Man, I just don't get this. I thought for sure Las Vegas and Oklahoma were going to surpass Tijuana this year. I got to pause this. Hold on. I say hold on like time passes for you. Sorry about that. Had to pop a Wendell cough lozenge in my mouth. I used to eat these things like they were candy. Nothing like them. Okay. Tijuana has been, the West-Southwest has been the biggest mystery to me last year and this year both. Las Vegas is doing really, really well, and I'm looking for Las Vegas to make a strong move past Tijuana, but Tijuana just, they got a couple of great players that just carry their team. We'll get to that in a second. First, I want to finish my tour of the overall UBL. Oklahoma, kind of underperforming my expectations. I thought they'd be about a 550 ball club and on their way up. Salt Lake continues to be plagued by injuries, but just a lot of bad stuff has happened in Salt Lake. So Salt Lake's looking like the 3rd pick so far in the draft. In the wild card, and it's pretty obvious the second place team in the West-Northwest is in top for the wild card race. Although, the Las Vegas is not too far back. They're in striking distance. And I haven't counted Portland out yet. I think Portland's still got something to bring. Back over here as we make our circle back around to the Big Easy. Key West continues to have just a good year. Now 11 games in front. Every week it extends its lead just a little bit. And I like the way Key West is doing it. They're going 4-2, 5-2, just about every sim. They had one sim where they went 7-0 as part of a 9-game win streak. But other than that, just very, very consistent, methodical. Most of the losses seem to be 1-run losses. And, man, what can I say? I'll take it and then some. Nashville, still above 500. Nashville has had a great, almost insane start to the year and has tapered off. Injuries have taken their toll. Charleston has started off pretty good, faded, came back, has kind of faded again. Chimps are running kind of unevenly, kind of raggedly, like a like a V8 running on 7 cylinders. Sometimes that 8-cylinder fires and sometimes it doesn't. But they're making some strong moves to be competitive later this year and in the years to come. Some long overdue moves, in my opinion. They've been carrying old, high-paid roster, and those guys are great, like Carlos Ochoa. But it's at some point it's time to make a move. So I really like what they're doing. And Louisville, I don't know what to say about Louisville. I know Guksta has decided to cash in his chips, get the future value he can for current value. Louisville and Charleston have made a few trades to send some pitchers and sluggers back and forth. So it's pretty interesting stuff going on, and I'll get to that in a second. Over in the wild card, Richmond now has surged past Nashville to take the wild card lead, and I'm looking forward to this. I think it could be a 3 or 4-way race as we go throughout the year with Richmond, Nashville, Chesapeake, and Charleston. And I'm really enjoying what the wild card is bringing us, and I think you guys agree. It's a level of it. It's a whole new level of excitement. A whole nother couple of races to watch. Okay, so that's those are the standings. Let's go over here and look at let's look at expanded standings while we're at it. Thing to watch out for here, or the thing I watch out for, is the Pythagorean difference. I'm not a huge believer in the Pythagorean formula, but it gives us another data point, another analytical tool to talk about. And you can see in the east-northeast, folks are pretty much on the Pythag. In the east-southeast, folks are pretty much on, just a tick ahead. In the east-northeast, a tick behind. The Western League, though, is very strange. Winnipeg is pretty much right at its Pythag, as is Portland, which surprises me that Portland's Pythag is that low. But BC is 6 games above its Pythagorean, and I don't know, I would say maybe that's due to the ballpark they play in that favors hitting, but they got to pitch there too, right? So last year we were like 6 games or 7 games under Pythag for much of the season. Who knows why? Just a combination of things. In the West-Southwest, everybody's close to around Pythag, but it's interesting how folks are kind of hovering a little bit below. Salt Lake at 3 games above Pythag. Wow, that's tough. It's a rebuilding job right there, B-Dub. What else? Okay, yeah, let's go to the home page. I guess I'm ultimately a superstitious kind of a person. My mama raised me that if I toot my own horn, blow my own whistle, and all that kind of stuff, thump my chest and say how great I am, like a rapper, like 50 Cent, karma's going to catch me in the butt. So I don't toot my own horn, but my goodness, and this team is just rocking. I don't think Key West has ever been at the very top of the UBL power rankings, but they are this year. Now, granted, BC usually is in the 140s. So, and last year, Louisville, who's off the top 9 here, Louisville was insane with John Barber and company. Yeah, we're at the top of the power. It's pretty amazing. In the East League, batting leaders, John Dalton, Don Drain, Mike Barlow, or James Dalton, rather, son of Sir John Dalton, or great something grandson, right, Sir John Dalton. Dalton, it's crazy, 384. I don't know how he's doing it, but he is. Ramiro Gomez has come around and started to bomb some homers, along with Marcus Blandino, who consistently overplays his ratings, and the Don Drain. RBIs, Gomez and Dalton, which you would expect from a high-scoring team. Carlos Fabian has come back from an earlier slump with Richmond. It's good to see. Tomas Ortega, John Barber, and Harris. I don't know who Harris is. I guess I need to read up. are swiping some bags. Yeah, I kind of don't believe in stolen bags. We'll get to that in a second. Earned run average, I think this is Jorge Martinez of Madison, Ramon Diaz of Charleston, having a great year, and Roman Ramos of Key West, also having, man, I know another one of those years, you know. You look at Ramos's ratings and you think, how does he do it? But he's the man. Ramos, Hanero, and Boyd, I started to say Oil Can Boyd, Doogie Boyd, leading the league in wins. V-Mart, Nashville is just powering his way with overwhelming force to the strikeout record. Hang on to him, Sean. He's the franchise. Frank Guerrero doing it for Key West, and Hanero for Richmond. Pitching leaders, well, this is where I like to see it. Key West is now at the top of all categories. I've built the team off defense and pitching, and at least that was like a year before last or so. That was, I just totally went after that, defense and pitching. That's why I got Rick Roll Hamilton. And since then I've learned. We did not win the division last year. A great hitting team beat us in Louisville, and so I've made some changes to bring in hitting. I've sacrificed some of our future. So runs scored, Key West, Madison, Nashville. This is why they're hanging around the top of the Big Easy right here. Batting average, the Favres lead the way, the Tourists and the Parrot Heads. Home runs, again, Madison. Madison getting it done in the batting, no doubt. Richmond's starting to come back with the bat. Richmond's always been good with the bat, and they're coming back. Madison, I should say, also hanging around in the team pitching and defense. So, you know, you got a lot like a team that's one or two in both categories, in both running and scoring. Runs against, runs scored. You know, you're going to win some games if you lead the league in runs scored and runs against. So, I like it. I like it. Anything else to talk about here? Newspaper. I like to go to the newspaper. It's a lot of fun to check this out from time to time. Paul O'Connor is he's a one-man show in Winnipeg. He's part of the reason for their great success. Mike Barlow doing it for Nashville. John Anderson coming back to have a great year. Who got suspended? Daryl Rohan? Roberto Cisneros? I don't know who Cisneros is, but Rohan's a good one. He's fragile, though, isn't he? I don't know. Barlow just finished out a 20-game hitting streak. It seems like all of our hitting streaks finish out about 20 or 21 games. Alfredo Olivas, the Chimps, always a great player. He always hammers us when we play him. And Brian Williamson, strikeouts per 9 over in the West League. Is Williamson, I watched him get drafted the same draft that I chose Gonzi. And, man, I wanted Williamson too, but, of course, B-Dub snatched him right up late in the first round. I keep kicking myself for snatching Gonzi with the 1-2 pick, and time will tell, but he's contributed value early and often for us. And our rotation has been good enough, I would say.